this is Arrow. We are unplugged and totally uncut with Carlos Mencia. We've met before.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit, brother! Brother! Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Holy shit, bro!
3-4 years ago?
You and me,
Look
bro.
Look at you!
Us! Holy shit, we're the before and after together, though.
That's right.
Where's it at here?
Right?
Ovens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right?
How'd you do it?
How'd you do it?
Lots of push-ups and sit-ups.
Me too, bro.
Yeah, that's, it's sitting here and making sure that I get it all in.
Yeah, me too, bro. Like last night, dude, I was starving and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll have a Caesar salad. Fuck. And then a shrimp appetizer. I had a couple of shrimp in it, but it's like you just, because the night before, dude, I fucking got high and got the munchies.
Oh,
Shit.
see, now that sucks.
So bad. I was so bad, bro. I had like a shitload of fried rice and oh my God, it was bad. It was really bad.
Where have you been?
I kind of stayed away a little bit. Kind of got quiet. I had to I think what happened with me was kind of like a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
but involved with a bunch of other stuff. And I just got so into the TV thing and it consumed so much of my time that I stopped being a person.
Okay.
And I was only a celebrity.
Yep.
And then no disrespect, but I don't want to be Kathy Griffin. I don't want to go up on stage and have my act be about I met this guy and that girl and we were hanging out and that's what my life was becoming. Going to parties, hanging out, going to, see concerts and whatever, blah, 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 going to movie premieres, all that stuff. And I didn't like it.
Yeah, because I think the last time I saw you, you were in the movie. You were playing the bartender.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Mind of Mencia just went away.
Yeah.
And then it just went totally crazy.
Yeah, but the hard part about Mind of Mencia was the fights that I had with Comedy Central.
Are you kidding?
Oh God, yes. Look,
you
this
were
is
Comedy Central.
Well, here's what happened. I had this idea that I thought was brilliant. All right, and it was right after Michael Richards snapped and started doing the N-word rampage. So then I pitched this idea where I found an episode of Seinfeld that never aired. And the episode was going to be Kramer comes in to tell Jerry that a black family moved in next door, but he doesn't want to say black or anything like that. Right. So he's describing them in the most horrific racial stereotypes. Not using any bad words, but like, guess who moved in next door? And Jerry's like, who are these people? And he's like, they eat watermelon, Jerry. They eat watermelons. They can run and jump high. Basketball, come on. Who are they? And he just keeps going and going and going and going until he just snaps. And then he starts yelling out the N-word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought, man, we put this on. This is just brilliant. It's funny. It's topical. It's about what's happening. You know what I mean? Even if they ask me, I'll be able to address it. I'll be able to talk about it. And they said, yeah, well, I don't know. You really think that's funny? Yeah, it's a little too edgy, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm following an episode of South Park where the devil just took a dump on a crucifix of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going too far? Seriously? Are you serious? And I think it was that point where I was like, I feel really weird when in our business, and it happens in radio, TV, any kind of show business, we all want the same thing. I want to get ratings so that there's more money, and if there's more money, we share more money. You're going to take the bulk of it, but you're going to give me some.
That's right.
Like, so I hated that whole adversarial part of it. You know what I mean? The adversarial part that happens with management. You need to talk more, play 8 songs an hour, whatever. Look, it's not my ego. I'm just telling you that I want to do the same thing that you do. Have more people listen to what this is.
And did they bring you into the office and sit you right down? Or did you at least have an agent to go in and protect you?
No, I would talk to them, but I didn't care. I mean, it never got that bad. It just got frustrating.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I've never done this for the money.
Yeah.
I've never done this for the money.
Yeah.
Money gets in the way, but that's business. like you learn your lessons of money. Like the first money lesson I learned was I sold out 7 shows. We added shows, and this was forever ago, at a club called the River Center Comedy Club in San Antonio. Yeah. So normally when you add a show, they do it at 90%, but I was young and they just prorated it and whatever. So they literally made $42,000 at the door.
Oh man.
And they paid me $6,000. Oh. That was fine. You know what I mean? I learned my lesson. They had a condo, and I used the phone at the condo to call my house. They literally made that much money and sent me a bill for $26.38 for the long distance. And when that happens, that's when you become savvy to the whole money part of it. So even though I do what I do to make people laugh, I never think about money. I don't wake up and go, today I'm going to make money.
Right.
I wake up and go, I'm going to make people laugh today. What can I think of that's different? How can I be better? How can I shine brighter? I have a gift. Let me give it. Let me share it. That's what I do. But that money comes in the way, and that's what it is, and it's okay. It's called show business. Yeah. But when it overrides everything, and then I said, I don't want to do the show. And then when it all went away, I was like, wait a minute, did I just quit a TV show? Is that what I just did? Am I stupid? What the hell is wrong with me? And I'm serious. I went, whoa. I have never said no to work. Yeah. In my life, I have a working class guy mentality. My father worked his whole life. My father got his thumb cut off in an industrial accident at 3:48 on Thursday. 7 a.m. the next day, he's at work. Yeah. That's me. Yeah. Like, I can't tell my dad, Comedy Central's being difficult. Yeah. Oh, did they cut off your thumb? Did they pull out your tongue? I mean, how bad is it over there? Are they paying you minimum wage? I can't complain to this guy. I can't tell him I'm having a hard day. He knows what hard days really are, So I freaked out.
Yeah.
Totally freaked out. Because I'm like, whoa, I'm a different person. Like, I've never said no to work. And it wasn't about the money. It was about the work. Like, why would I say no to that? So then I was like, okay, I got to go to therapy. I got to find out, who I am. And then that's when, like, I started getting just bombarded with hate on the internet. And the internet was kind of new in that respect.
Yes.
There wasn't, like, what people don't understand is, this is before Twitter. This is before Facebook. This is right when MySpace and before. And YouTube was taken off. So I became the comedic poster boy for let's hate this guy. I was that guy. Yeah. And for a while, that was hard because, I mean, You've seen me perform before. I bring young comics on the road. I find guys that I think are funny. And my school, the people that have come through my school, you've seen them on TV. They're successful. They're doing well. Those are guys that I helped out for no other reason than, like Momo right here. This guy. Momo. Here's how I found Momo. I was doing a celebrity charity golf tournament with Cheech, and he's interviewing Cheech. And then he comes and interviews me. And he tells me he's a comedian. Oh. And I say, well, we're doing a show tonight. Come by and open for me. Oh. And he did this one joke that I said, all right, you have potential. A lot of the stuff that he said was like, meh, meh, meh. He was a young comic at the time. I was like, okay, heard it. Blah, I'm fat. Blah, 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 blah. But he did this one joke where he says, I don't have a really good vocabulary. So, well, you know what? I don't want to come over here and tell the story. Over here. Right here, bro. Tell the story about the show that you just did. This is a true story. That's your phone, right? Yeah, this is my phone. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So what happened was I did a charity event, and I forgot to ask what the charity was for. Yeah. So I show up, and this really happened, and I'm about to say, okay, it's great to be out here to support you guys' cause, and then I asked, you know what is embarrassing, but what cause is this? That was supposed to be the joke. And this woman goes, well, we're having an event here for battered women. And I was just confused, and they just saw me like, what's wrong with them? And I go, cool, that sounds delicious. Let me get a dozen, And that's really what happened. And then later on, they told me what it meant, and that sucked. But
See,
poor
that's
girls.
almost like my friend from Costa Rica.
Right.
He goes, you Americans,
Right.
you have too many words.
Yeah.
And he go, and because I used to hire him to go to do Latin weddings.
Right.
And so I say, okay, say something about the wedding. Right. Fiesta.
Right.
I was like, no, wedding.
Right. But I saw that joke and I was like, bring him. So when I started getting a lot of hate, but it wasn't the hate part that bothered me, because I get success breeds negativity. What got to me was everybody's, or so many people's, willingness to want to dislike me. That's what I saw. And instead of going, you know what, whatever, I said, you know what, there's got to be a reason, and I have to. I'm playing some part in this dance. Mm-hmm. What's my part? What is it that I'm doing? And then I started going to therapy, and I said, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go on the road and do small clubs and find myself again and figure this out and work it out. And that's kind of where I've been for the past 2.5, 3 years, just figuring it out. Plus, when I lost weight, I had to change my comedy, because what people don't understand is if you're goofy or fat or look dumb or bad haircut, you can go on stage and make fun of anything. Because people are like, oh, look at poor fat guy. Oh, look at the guy with the short leg. Oh, look at Seriously, somebody with cerebral palsy can go on stage and do jokes about anything. A dwarf can go on stage and do jokes about anything, and nobody's going to care. But for me, it's different, So when I lost that vulnerability of being overweight,
right,
I had to change my comedy. I had to literally alter the way I told jokes and the way I approached it. And that was hard, because I was good at the way I did it before.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd had specials. I'd had, I had a TV. I mean, I knew how to do it. And all of a sudden, I got to change that. So I didn't want to do that going to theaters or big venues. I wanted to do that where it should be done. And then I just put my nose to the grindstone and said, you know what, I'm just going to work at this and become funny in the way that I want to become funny, and evolve and be different and not be the same guy. I don't want to be, I don't want to be Gilbert Gottfried, so to speak, still doing that voice.
All these years later.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't. I wanted to get away from certain things so that I want to be known for, you got to go see this guy because he talks about issues that are going on every single time I come in town. I want that reputation, because that's what you get with me.
I was going to say, that's how your show is, because you go, what?
Yes.
What? You say it when I'm not here. You're doing it.
Everybody does.
That's what I love about you.
But I say things that people think all the time. And I'm good with that. Oh, that's so sweet. No, but that's what I want to be. I want to be that voice. And that's my point. Going back to the original point that we were talking about, that's why I stopped doing vitamin C and I moved on. Because that voice had disappeared. The voice of the everyday guy. The voice of the everyday person that's frustrated with everyday life, It got to a point where I couldn't go to McDonald's. Mm-hmm. I couldn't go to Burger King, or I couldn't go to Starbucks. I had to tell somebody to go get Starbucks for me.
Right.
Because I was going to get bombarded, or I'd be there for 20 minutes signing autographs and taking pictures. And I kind of wanted to let that go so that I could be real.
Absolutely. In my 34 years of radio, you were the first comedian to ever step out of the audience and meet us.
Yeah.
When I saw you at Ovens Auditorium do that, I went, got to be kidding me.
Still do it.
Unbelievable. See, that just blew me away that you did that. And I was shocked by
But
it.
here's what's interesting. For me, that's a no-brainer. Here, we've been in really nice restaurants, having a wonderful time. And somebody will come up and say, I don't want to be that person, but, and then these guys, I had to tell them one time, don't ever make a bad face when people come up.
Boy, not the truth.
And then they were like, but dude, we're eating. Yeah, but I might be the only, to you guys, I'm just me, and we're hanging and we're buds, and it's not a big deal. To them, I might be the only celebrity they'll ever meet in their entire life.
Right.
30 seconds out of my life, maybe a minute, maybe 2. That's it. I can make that moment great for them or bad for them. And you guys can too. And if somebody in my crew does something bad or says something, they don't say, oh yeah, that guy Momo, man. They'll go, oh, Carlos, he's a dick, and that's the problem. So I remember being that kid. I'm still that guy. I still go to parties and go, oh my God, that's Jack Nicholson. That's Jack Nicholson. touch trick. I want to go up to him and go, here's Johnny. I do, but I'm not because I can't. That's embarrassing, but that's him. You know, I still feel that way. And I remember the first time I met him, and we were at a boxing match about 15, 18 years ago, and I didn't know this because I was barely got my HBO special, and HBO hooked it up, and I had these seats right by the ring in an Oscar De La Hoya fight, and down there, you don't go to the concession stands. They actually have people that come and take your order and bring them to you. So I didn't know this. So I said to my brother, hey man, let's get some nachos and some Cokes and hot dogs and we'll go down. So as we're going down on the floor, we're carrying stuff. Security runs right up to us. Goes, excuse me, can we see your tickets, please? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And they're like, oh, okay, you're over here, sir. And I sit down, and I swear to God, I hear, it was the nachos that got you. I was like, what? What? No way. No way. Oh, my God. And it was weird because my brother had sat first, so he's sitting right next to Jack. And I'm just like, dude, that's Jack. And he told me, and then I looked at him, and he's like, and then he says, yeah, you don't, they come over here and they take care of you. And I was like, oh, cool, man. And like 10 minutes later, him and my brother are pointing out all the hot chicks and they're having the greatest time. And I'm just like, why did I let my brother sit over there? You're having my conversation. Yeah. Those are I paid for the nachos that he made fun of. Those were my nachos. Yeah, but he didn't have to say that, didn't have to do that.
Right.
But he made that moment for me memorable to where I'll never forget it. Yeah. And I have the power and ability to do that for other people. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. And I don't care. And because people say to me all the time, like, I remember one time I was doing a show. I don't want to mention the names because they'll get upset. But I was doing a show with two other really big name comedians. And we were doing a really big show. We sold like 12,000 seats at this arena. It sold out. It's awesome. At the end of the show, they go to the back. And at the time, I didn't drink or smoke or any drugs or anything like that. So they go to the backstage and they start, oh, man, that was a great show. That was a great show. I was like, yeah, guys, I got to go, say hi to the fans. Mm-hmm. And I left to the front to go sign autographs, take pictures, say hi to the fans. And my friend who stayed there told me that they were being very, who does he think he is? Why would he do that? And for me, it was like, without them, that's right. I don't have this. Mm-hmm. Like, I live in a badass house. Mm-hmm. When I moved into my house, we had a pool. I said, I don't like that pool. Right. I literally tore the pool down and made a new pool. Like, that's how much money these people give me. Right. Why would I not want to meet them? Absolutely. Why would I not want to meet the people that give me this lifestyle? I love meeting them. It is awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's annoying how stupid some of them are, but, I don't have to deal with them that much. Joey does because he'll tell you stories about like how people just don't get it. Like right. He'll just tell people, okay, listen, you get a picture that's free. We take it, it's digital, then we post it on the internet and you can download it. But if you want a picture that you can have now, we have an instant one, but that one's $20. Exactly. So I got to pay $20 to take a picture with Carlos? Again, you get two pictures if you want. One of them is free and you can download it off the internet. Right. The other one that they're taking right now, see that one in that camera? That's an instant camera. That one you pay for, but you get the other one for free no matter what. Right. I can't believe Carlos makes us pay for pictures. He's like, you don't have to pay for the picture. Just stay in line and he'll take a picture with you. Then I'll take a picture with them and I'll be like, no, it's free. And they're like, but I want that other one. Well, that one's $20. Oh, can I have the $20 one? And he's like, oh my God. Seriously? How many times? Seriously? And then people will come up to him and go, yo quiero la foto. And he's like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. What? And then he'll be like, yeah, I live in America. I don't know what part of that you don't get, but it's not my fault. So you want a picture or not? Oh, what's the picture? And he's like, oh, I got to do this again. So now what he does is he's like, listen, everybody, can you hear me? You have two options. And he states the options. Yep. But no matter how much he tells people, so what's going on with the pictures? I just took these. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so like a radio listener when you just say, all right, we're taking requests right now. And they call it and they go, what did I win?
Right.
No, it's not what I said. I said, we're taking a song request.
Oh, it's the worst. You know what I learned? It's like when you say, because amateur DJs do this a lot, like the young DJs, you'll come in and they'll be like, hey, let's do a contest, Carlos. We're going to have people call in and then they can tell a joke. And the funniest joke, you can judge it and they win. And I'm like, okay, you have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea what's about to happen, but we're not going live, so it's okay. And then 5 people call in with the worst jokes ever. And then 5 in, they're like, maybe we shouldn't do this contest. I'm like, no. Let's just go back in the air and tell people we were going to do it, but there's a reason that I get paid to tell jokes because you guys are horrible at it. And then we'll make fun of them and whatever. But it's all about just being real for me and being down and making fun of whatever life has to offer. And, I'm the opposite of most comedians right now. Most comedians are doom and gloom. Yep. America sucks. Life sucks. I'm an immigrant. I know how great this country is. I'll know America sucks when the water is filled with Cubans and they're swimming back. That's when I'll know America sucks. And I'll say, where are you guys going? Have you seen America? We go back to Cuba, man. Fidel, we love you. That's never going to happen, of course. But, somebody needs to point out. See, here's what I think happened. What I think happened is when news networks turned 24 hours.
Yes.
And it became about selling commercials. The part of news that used to be, I think this is an important story, went away. Mm-hmm. And it became sensationalizing and all that because people will say to me, well, but it's news. Actually, the best shows on the news are not news. They're commentary. It's not just, and if you don't believe me, watch the news today, like MSNBC, CNBC, Fox, any of those, doesn't matter. And listen to how many times they say, I think.
That's it.
And just listen to that. And remember that whatever follows I think is not news. That's an opinion. Mm-hmm. That didn't used to happen before. Mm-hmm. True news is who, why, what, where, when. That's why, you know where you could tell? When you listen to evening or morning news. 20 years ago, it used to rain in Charlotte. Now it's like storm watch. It's like, oh my God, there's a storm. Oh, we don't want to leave. It used to rain, but now it's storming. It's a whole different level. It's like so fear-based, so scary, so, that's why it's so scary that when real scary things happen, we don't know if it's really scary or not.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why when they were like, well, okay, the government shutdown, is it really that bad? Because they're so used to saying storm, bad, oh my God, And to me, that's when it began to get weird because simple people, they don't want to think, mm-hmm. They don't want to process information. Mm-hmm. So when they see America's broken, they're like, oh my God, it's broken. What do we do? And it's like, it's not. It's we're the best country and always trying to get better. It's what makes us great, that we're trying to fix things. But see, we're getting into a place like with our government. Instead of fixing things, let's not do anything. And what people don't understand is whether you're for or against Obamacare, I don't care. Nobody's happy with it. The people on the left think it doesn't go far enough. The people on the right think it goes way too far. Yep. Nobody's really happy with it. But the truth is that the reason why we have that law is not because of Obama. It's because of stupid people who think they're God, who think they're never going to get sick and end up at the hospital. And if you don't believe me, go online and just type in how much money America spends on removing things from anal cavities on a yearly basis. Seriously, that we as taxpayers have to pay because they show up, with Legos in their butt, and you're just like, are you serious? And I got to pay for this? You know what I mean? Why are you putting things in there like that? If you want to put things there, I don't care. That's your deal. That's fine. But we're America. We have these stores. They sell those things. You don't have to use Legos in a light bulb. That's crazy. And that's why premiums are so high. That's why we spent 1/3 or something of our budget on Medicare, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, whatever all that stuff is, and then on hospital stuff. So that's we don't address that. See, nobody wants to address because stupid people vote.
That's right.
That's the problem. And instead of like saying to stupid people, hey man, smarten up, we go down and like, yeah, stupid people, you want me to tell you why you don't have a job? Immigrants. Seriously? Listen, an illegal alien took my job. So some guy that just got here from Nicaragua who can't speak English applied for the same job that you did, and after they interviewed both of you, they gave it to him. How bad was your interview? That's really the question, isn't it? Like, I don't think an American can go to Mexico and just get a job and not speak Spanish. I don't think that can happen. So how are they doing it? You know what I mean? Everybody's a little whiny bitch now.
That's right.
You know, why do I have to work at McDonald's? Because you're uneducated. Let's be real about this. People that go to college, they don't go, ding, fries ready. That's not what they do. And if you want to, move on. Like, do something with your life. Like, I swear to God, this really happened the other day. I went to McDonald's, and the guy had an attitude. And I said, seriously? Like, what's up with the attitude? And he goes, well, how would you feel if you worked at McDonald's? And I said, I'd feel really bad about myself. That's why I don't work at McDonald's. Yeah. And he looked at me, and I said, listen, everything that I've done in my adult life, I've done specifically to be on this side of that counter, because I used to work at McDonald's when I was 16 years old. So I get where you're at, but the average age of a McDonald's employee before used to be, I think, 17, 18.
Yeah, they
Today,
were kids.
It's
now
like 26.
Yeah.
But they're still, they're not the most educated. Like, go to college, even a bad college, and you'll get a better job. But remember, like, it all matters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you go to a state school, you're probably not going to be president. Seriously, the last president that went to a state school is Johnson. Like, you think we're ever going to hear this in our lifetime? I'm the president of the United States of America, and I am a phoenix. You think we're ever going to hear that in our lifetime? I don't think so. But see, the problem is people don't want to hear that.
Right.
Because another fundamental change that happened was somewhere between the 70s and 80s, there was a switch. And the switch was people back then had kids. They didn't plan on having them. They had them. That's why they had 4 or 5 kids. But parents chose the ones that they liked. Mm-hmm. Like, if you have a family from that, you know who your mom and dad like more than you. Yep. You know, because you're like, why are you never treat me like you treat Eric? Eric is perfect. Eric is, we all like. What happened was we started to plan on having kids. And the difference is once you start planning, you want them to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And you don't accept their imperfections. See, so when I was a kid, you had 4 kids and one of them was an idiot. And the parents told the 3 smart ones, sorry, but when we die, you got to take care of that idiot. Yep. That's your job. We're going to put this in the will that you guys literally have to take care of that idiot. There was a movie made about it called Rain Man.
Yep.
That's what it was about.
Yep.
This used to be our existence. Now when our kids come out stupid, we don't accept it. We take them to a doctor so they could diagnose them with some disorder, and then maybe there's a pill to ungoofify his stupid ass. This is where we give them a trophy, and then we wonder, why are they so lazy? Because this is all our doing. Could you imagine, like you and I are similar, could you imagine your father buying a car, like a minivan, for you guys, for the kids? Right. My dad never would have bought a car for us. Yep. Never.
I had to wait till I was 18, and I had to buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
But they bought but parents today, we're going to get a minivan so that we can take our kids. Why are you doing so much for this kid? Yeah. Like, don't do that much. You got to let them, you have to let people fail. You have to let them learn how to lose, because when they don't learn how to lose, they end up in Congress and they pass no laws.
That's right.
Because they don't know how to lose or compromise. This is coming back to us. This is why this is happening. This is exactly what's going on in this country. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to live anymore because they don't live. They live in this perfect world where you get a trophy when you suck, where they don't want to pass grades anymore. They just want to do pass or fail, where, you're special. You're not an idiot. And all of this stuff is coming back now. And somebody needs to talk about this. Somebody needs to point it out. And nobody wants to. No, I'm afraid. Why are you doing this? Oh my God, Carlos is so offensive. Like, literally, the truth has become offensive.
It has.
the truth. Be offensive.
They don't want to deal with it because I'm called a jerk all the time. And I go,
Right.
well, I'm not a jerk.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Right. This is the way things are. And people don't want to hear it.
I'm in trouble with human resources more times than if I were to go in there and break the rules.
Right.
I don't get it.
Right.
I just don't get it.
But it's because we started making people feel too important. Again, going back to when you have one kid, everything they do is important. So think about that. You have one kid, everything that kid does is important. You work at human resources, one person calls in.
Yeah.
One.
That's it.
Out of what's probably 1 point something, almost 2 million that live in the surrounding area where you guys, one person, 0.0000001%. And all of a sudden you're getting called by human resources as if that person is so important. And that's the problem. They shouldn't be.
Yep.
And they're not. But when you live in that society of like, I have one kid and my kid is perfect and one person called in and we can't afford to lose one person because then what are we going to do? Advertising dollars will go away and people won't buy it. And then we won't have a radio station. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Like, oh my God, you overreactor. Chill out. It's not that big a deal. You got to tell people sometimes, like, here's an example. My son is 6.5, and he wanted rollerblades. And so I said to him, those things are really dangerous. You might want to wait a little bit till you get bigger. And he's like, no, I want rollerblades. My friends have rollerblades. I said, all right. I told you they're dangerous. Fine. So I went to Target, got him some rollerblades and a helmet. Because I know he's going to fall, and I don't want him, like, I know he's going to get hurt, but I don't want him to be like, Daddy, you're not going to believe what happened. Like, I don't want that kind of an injury. Yeah. So as I'm walking away, this lady goes, sir, you need to protect your child. And my back was to her. So I turned around holding the boxes and I looked at the helmet and I said, no, I got him a helmet. He's okay. And she's like, no. You need to protect his torso. They have a chest protector. They have a wrist pad, an elbow pad, a knee pad. And I was like, ooh, should I get a pad for his vagina? Maybe I can get him some Kotex with wings so that when he's about to fly, they'll fly away and take him into a nice white puffy cloud where baby Jesus is waiting for him. No, I want my son to fall. And I want him to like put his hand out and break a finger or something so that he can learn a lesson that certain things are dangerous. There's a reason that our kids don't have fear when they get to 18 and then they're jumping off the roof of a house to try to land in the pool, but they were too stupid to learn geometry or algebra, so they landed 4 feet short. But instead of being mad that they broke both of their legs, which, by the way, I have to pay for because that idiot doesn't have insurance, this is where it all goes bad. But nobody talks about that because we all want to be the victims, You all want to be the victims. Listen to the news and you'll hear every politician say the same thing. The American people. Shut your pie hole. You really know what 330 million people want? Everybody? The American people? Really? Because I'm American people and I don't agree with jack shit you're saying. Are you serious? Stop it. Stop it. Maybe your constituents. How about that? My constituents. Fine. The American people don't want. Shut up. Shut up. But the people that agree with them, instead of being smart enough to go, well, that can't be right. Not every American really wants that, right? They're like, see, I'm American and I believe that's the way it is. Self-important prick? No. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Look, growing up, my father, I'm one of 18 kids. I'm the 17th of 18 kids. Right. My father used to tell me, nobody's indispensable. And I remember the first time he said it, I'm like, what does that mean? What's indispensable? He's like, nobody is needed. Everybody that thought they were the most important thing died. And look, the world still turns. Nobody. And I was like, that's not true, Dad. Like, that's not true. Like, what if I died? He was like, you're one of 17. Really? Really? You really want to ask me that question? And I went, okay, point taken. But you're my only Dad. If you died, you're not replaceable. And my father said, listen, if I die, your mother is going to meet another man. And one day, if he's a good man, you're going to call him father. Wow. That's a fact. And I got really sad because I go, God, I have a lot of friends that have stepdads that they call dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you're right. And he looks at me and he goes, but if I die and your mom marries another man, don't let him wear my shoes.
There you go.
That was it. That was it. I don't even know what the hell that meant. Don't let him wear my shoes. I was like, what's up with your shoes, bro? What is your infatuation with shoes? He's like, just don't let him wear my shoes. I'm like, all right, I'll bury you with your shoes. I don't understand what your problem is with shoes. Then I realized my father didn't wear shoes till he was 12.
Are you kidding?
True story, yeah.
Wow.
Because he's from Honduras.
I was going to say he's from
So that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal to him. The moment that he got shoes was like his moment in time. So he doesn't want anybody ever wearing his shoes.
Wow.
So
I
you
studied
learn.
martial arts with a gentleman from Honduras, and he made it a point to tell me, do not compare me to anything on this coast. I am Italian. So I got to ask you.
Yes.
Being from Honduras.
Yes.
What is your connection?
To Honduras?
I mean, are you Italian? I mean, what is your true blood?
You know what? My family is half Indian.
Okay.
So they're half Mayan, and then from my from my great grandfather's side, some of them are from Germany and some of them are from England, but like removed all the way down. But Mencia is actually a region in Spain where they make wine.
Okay.
So if you you can actually buy Mencia wine.
Why aren't you getting in the business then, mister?
Nah, I want to go over there and show him my ID, but then I don't want him to be like, another Mencia asking for free alcohol. I don't want to be that guy. These immigrants are coming to our country. It's like, you're the one that banged my grandmother. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I just love that I'm a mix of a lot of stuff and that I don't claim any of it. I don't care about any of it. I don't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make me or break me. Every day I change. Yes. You know what I mean? So I don't fight it anymore. I don't claim anything. I don't fight anything because tomorrow I might feel different. Yeah. You just don't know. You have no idea. You say in life, look, I didn't smoke or drink or do any drugs till I was 42 years old. I'm 45. Nothing. Not a thing. And then I got to 45. I took care of my family, bought my mom and dad a house, got myself a nice house, taken care of, put money in the bank, and I went, maybe now I can chill out and have a drink and see what this is like for me. Yeah. Because I already worked hard for everybody else. I already took care of them. And then I had a drink and that led to that was crazy. That was a year for me, man, because I started doing drugs and I started experimenting with it got bad, bro. It got bad. But I'm good now. I'm good.
Well, you look great, man. You look great.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
Carlos
it.
Mencia at the Comedy Zone, CLT Comedy Zone, Charlotte. And this is it, man. Thank
Appreciate it, brother.
So much.
You're welcome, my man. And that is you got to scan that and put it up on Instagram or something, man. That is the before and after of both of us. That is amazing. That is amazing.
How many pounds did you lose?
70.
70. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How many do you lose?
50.
Yeah.
So
such a change, right?
It is.
Huge change. Yeah, I'm gonna go do insanity workout right now.
Are you?
Like an idiot.
Is that what you're doing, insanity?
Right. Well, when I'm on the road, and it depends. If we're near a really nice gym or somewhere where I can work out, I'll go work out. But if we're not in the gym where we're staying, it's kind of like just has a treadmill. Yeah, I'll pull that in and do 45 minutes of cardio, sweat really hard. It's good stuff, man. And then later when I'm eating, I don't feel like eating badly because I actually worked out and I'm feeling good. Mm-hmm. So I don't even think I don't want to eat badly. My body's just like, you don't need that. Hey, get some veggies and some chicken in me right now because that's what and then I won't even I'll get full right away because I eat every 2 to 3 hours. So
that's
it's just
the
a good
hardest
cycle
thing to deal with because when you lose that weight, the shocker is how fast you do get full. And when I was coming down, I was going, my God, I'm stuffed. And I don't know because you got so used to eating so much. And
but you also, well, I did anyway. You probably did too. Ate every 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, because they make grazing
every 2.5.
Yeah.
You just, you know what I mean? It's just like boom, 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 boom.
That's my lunch.
Oh, there you go.
See,
there you go.
There's my protein.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's
if you do it as soon as you get hungry, you have a protein shake. As soon as you get hungry, you have a salad soon. You don't want to eat that much, and your body gets used to it because it's like, no, we don't have to eat. We're gonna eat in 2 hours. It's okay. Yeah. And then your body starts telling you what it wants. Like there are days where I'm like, dude, I need pasta, man. I need to. My body's like, and then later on that night, I'll feel the energy, or I'll need sugar, or
Exactly.
sometimes it's not all the time, but you got to pay attention to that. Or sometimes it'll be just like straight out protein. That's it. You know what I mean? Get a burger, take out the bun, just eat the lettuce, and it just depends on. I try to pay attention to my body, see what it asks for, and sometimes it does ask for bad food. Sometimes my body's like, dude, eat some ice cream. You need it. You need it. But there are days where like I really need it to boost my metabolism or whatever it is. So you need all that stuff. Yeah. It's just what quantities. Yeah, that's the issue.
That's it. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Carlos Mencia.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mimosa.
I texted you 2 pictures.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Can't find your camera though.